Hello everyone, my name is Dhruil Patel. I am from Kalol Institute of Technology and Research Center. Today I am going to explain about pre-stressed concrete. First of all, what is pre-stressed concrete? Pre-stressed concrete is concrete that has had internal stresses to prevent, to the degree desired, the tensile stresses that will be imposed in service. So, the pre-stress is usually imposed by tendons of individual hard-drawn wires, cables of hard-drawn wires, or bars of high-strength alloy steel. In other words, we can say that pre-stressed concrete is a form of concrete used in construction. It is substantially compressed during production in a manner that strengthens it against tensile force which will exist when in service. A pre-stressed concrete structure is different from a conventional reinforced concrete structure due to the application of initial load on the structure to its use. The initial load or pre-stress is applied to enable the structure to prevent the stresses arise during its service period. The pre-stressing of structure is not the only instance of pre-stressing. The concept of pre-stressing existed before the application in the pre-stressing. Generally, pre-stressed concrete is used in a wide range of building and civil structures where its improved performance can allow for longer span, reduced structural thickness and material saving compared with simple structures, concrete structures. For example, typical applications include high-rise buildings, residential slabs and foundation systems, bridge and dam structures, silos and tanks, individual pavements and nuclear containment structures. This is the figure of reinforced concrete and pre-stressed concrete. First of all, you have to understand the difference between reinforced concrete beam and pre-stressed concrete beam. Okay. First one is in reinforced concrete beam, the concrete in the tension side of the neutral axis is ineffective. But in the pre-stressed concrete beam, the entire section is effective. So you can see over here the neutral axis of the RCC beam is not effective in tension zone. So second one is reinforced concrete beam are generally heavy. They always need shear reinforcement beside the longitudinal reinforcement for flexure. Pre-stressed concrete beam are lighter by providing the curved tendon and the pre-compression. A considerable part of the shear is resisted. Okay. Then in reinforced concrete beam, high strength concrete is not needed, but in pre-stressed concrete beam, high strength concrete and high strength steel are necessary because high strength of concrete is needed to resist high stress at the anchorage. High strength steel is needed to transfer large pre-stressing force. So you can see over the pre-stressing concrete, the high pre-stressing tendon are used over in this figure. In reinforced concrete beam is massive and heavy are more suitable in situation where the weight is more desired than the strength, whereas pre-stressed concrete beam are very suitable for heavy loads and longer spans. Here you can see in this figure reinforced concrete beam being massive and heavy so that the full service load is high. So that's why crack and deflection occur under the working loads. Whereas in pre-stressed concrete beam they are slender and treatments as can be easily provided. Cracks do not occur under the working loads. Even if a minute crack occurs when overloaded, such crack gets closed. When the overload is removed, the deflection of pre-stressed concrete beam are small. And last but not the least, in reinforced concrete beam, there is no way testing the steel and the concrete. In pre-stressed concrete beam, the testing of steel and concrete can be made while pre-stressing. So you can see over here reinforced concrete beam. First figure is reinforced top of the figure for simply supported and cantilever. When load is applied on simply supported beam, the deflection and crack is developed at bottom of the beam. So reinforced concrete beam is deflects in simply supported and also deflects in cantilever where crack and deflection is developed at top of the cantilever beam. Now second figure is pre-stressed concrete before loading. You can see before loading, that means load is not applied on the beam, only dead load is generated on this beam, no full service load is developed. So the figure is, you can see over here, there is a small deflection on upper side. So this is the pre-stressed concrete beam before loading, and third figure is pre-stressed concrete after loading. After loading, that means full service load applied, that means the full service load applied on the beam. So you can see over here the slab is straight and stable of this simply supported beam as well as cantilever beam, and tendons bar are provided at the bottom of the beam, and in cantilever beam the tendon bars are provided, tendon wires are provided and top of the cantilever beam. So principle of pre-stressing. Pre-stressing is a method in which compression force is applied to the reinforcement concrete section. The effect of pre-stressing is to reduce the tensile stress in the section to the point till the tensile stress is below the cracking stress. The concrete does not crack. It is then possible to treat concrete as a elastic material. The concrete can be visualized to have two compressive force. First one is internal pre-stressing force, which is developed by internal friction and material, and second one is external force, which is developed by dead load and live load or extra working load. These two forces must be counteract each other. Now sixth one is pre-stress concrete method. There are two basic methods applying pre-stress to a concrete member. First one is pre-tensioning and second one is post-tensioning. Pre-tensioning is most often used in factory situation, where post-tensioning is used as cast in situ or site use. Okay. First of all, you have to understand what is pre-tensioning. A pre-tensioning is a method of a pre-stressing concrete in which the tendons are tensioned before the concrete is placed. In this method, the concrete is introduced by bond between steel and concrete. And post-tensioning is a method of pre-stressing concrete by tensioning the tendons against hardened concrete. Now you can see over here the figure of tendon wires. Actually it's called as a tendon wires. Tendon wires is a stretch element used in a concrete member of a structure to impart pre-stress to the concrete. This compression is produced by the tensioning of high strength tendons located within or adjustment to the concrete, and is done to improve the performance of the concrete in service. Tendon may be consist of single wire or multi-wire or threaded bars that are most commonly made for high tensile steel or carbon fibers. Now you can see over here hydraulic jack. Hydraulic jack is the tensioning of the steel bars or individual wires is usually by means of hydraulic jack. Now second one is wedges. Okay, wedges is grip are used. Wedge grip are used to grip each strands during stressing and to hold the strands permanently in the tendon and anchor after stressing. The jack is removed after stressing and anchoring. Now this is the placement of wedges. You can see over here the wedge of figure. So this is the wedge and this is the place where stable when you remove the hydraulic jack, the wedges are fixed at the end of the tendon wire. This is the tensioning of tendons process of. Now filling of holes by grouting. Grouting, that means grout is generally a mixture of water, cement and sand, and is employed in pressure grouting and rebar in masonry walls. Connecting sections of precast concrete, filling voids and sealing joints, and such as those between tiles. Now pre-tensioning. What is pre-tensioning? Pre-tensioning is the tendon are tensioned against some abutment before the concrete is placed. After the concrete hardened, the tension force is released. The tendon tries to shrink back to the initial length, but the concrete resists it through the bond between them. This compression force is produced in concrete. Pre-tension is usually done with precast member. The beam or element are constructed in a stressing bed and standard cables is placed between two buttresses anchored to a stressing bed which holds the force in the stretch cable. After stretching the steel with hydraulic jacks, concrete is placed in form around the cables and allowed to harden. When the concrete reaches sufficient strength, the pre-stress force is transferred to the concrete by bond when the steel strands at the end of the beam is cut loose from buttress. So you can see over here the abutment rock and bottom of the abutment rock is compression piles and abutment on poor soil. The beam are casting 1 to a number of beam you can cast over here, and tendons are fixed and tendons are stretched before the casting of beam, and then after beam are cast, and when beams are get its strength, then release the beam. So end abutment, steel tendons you can see over here, pre-stressing bed, okay, applying tension to tendons, okay, and second figure is casting of concrete where the cast is this is the precast, okay, cast in situ in factory, then casting of concrete, and third figure is transferring of pre-stress, that means cut the tendon wires and fix the tendons by wedges. You can see over here the factory view of construction of beam, of precast beam. Now post tensioning. Post tensioning is a method of reinforcing concrete or other material with high strength steel strands called tendons. Post tensioning allows construction that would otherwise be impossible due to either site constraint or architectural requirement. Requires specialized knowledge and expertise to fabricate, assemble and install. After adequate curing of concrete, reinforcing tendons are tensioned by jack on the side or grout filled with appropriate mix. In post tension, the tendons are tensioned after the concrete has hardened. Commonly, metal or plastic ducts are placed inside the concrete before casting. After the concrete hardened and had enough strength, the tendon was placed inside the duct, stress and encourage grain in against concrete. Grout may be injected into the duct later. This can be done either as a precast or cast in situ. Now you can see over here figure. First of all, you have to cast the beam and make a hole between the beam and pass the tendons when the beam are getting strength, then pass the tendon and stretch the tendon and then fix the tendon and grouting are to be done. Now you can see over here the position of tendon wires you can set in the beam. This is the precast segments girders to be post tensioning in place. Process of post tensioning, rolls of post tensioning cables. This is the tendon wires, you can call as a cable. Pulling anchor for post tensioning cables, and then after position of post tensioning cables, this is the view of slab casting. Post tensioning cables and extending from freshly poured concrete, and then after when concrete are get its strength, then after hydraulic jack are used to pull the cable. This is the last figure of the hydraulic jack. Then after advantages of pre-stressed concrete, okay, take full advantages of high strength concrete and high strength steel. Need less materials, smaller and lighter structure, no crack develop. Generally crack is developed, but it is small compared to RCC beam. Use the entire sections to resist the load. better corrosion resistant, good for water tanks and nuclear plant, very effective for deflection control, better shear resistance. Next one is disadvantages of pre-stressed concrete. Need higher quality material, more complex technically, more expensive, harder to recycle. Okay, these are the disadvantage of pre-stressed concrete. Okay, next one is application of pre-stressed concrete. So first of all, it is used where we have to take high strength, high load. This type of structure are in use in pre-stressed concrete. First of all is bridge, slab in building, water tank, concrete pile, thin cell structures, offshore platform, nuclear power plant, repair and rehabilitation. Thank you for watching this video.